Hello everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Olympia Soiree. Alright, chapter 4 of Himeka's route. We're on the chapter called Funeral Flowers. Hopefully not laying them for ourselves, but most likely gonna lay them for the poor unfortunate souls affected by Hazushi. The last episode we tried to plead with Shura again to reconsider her stance on the Hazushi. She didn't budge, although she did kind of divulge why she's for it for a terrible reason. I don't know how would you feel if someone was just like, yeah, we're gonna keep executing people because we need to harvest souls. Like, huh? And then just being like, well, I guess that's just how they do it on this island. And we also got to hang out with Himeka more. And then the other guys are pointing out, like, oh, like, why don't you consider him as your husband? Because we're hanging out with him a little bit. But yeah, so far the relationship is a little bit off. I feel like he's, like, treating her like some sort of goddess and putting her on way too high of a pedestal. Alright, anywho, let us start this next chapter of Himeka's route. We have the Yellow Chamberlain, probably gonna tell us we need to come home early. Lady Olympia, a moment, please! Oh, is there something you need? Doma's Chamberlain hurriedly ran towards me just as I was about to leave the manor. It's regarding tonight's performance. The master asked that you arrive earlier than usual, regardless of the sun's state. Understood. I'll be back before nightfall. If you'll excuse me, it's kind of weird like how some things always remain the same in each route, while other things like diverge. Please stay safe! Alright, well, we did promise to hang out with Himeka some more. I don't know how much time he has on his hands. That sounds like he just kind of wanders around, and if like someone calls for him, he helps with a body. I wonder how many letters are in here today. And it's like not like they don't have like a walkie-talkie system or a PA system, so what else can he do? With great expectations, I opened the box. Huh? Inside was a single envelope. Its recipient immediately caught my attention. To Lord Hiriko, huh? It's addressed to Lord Hiriko? Which means I need to take this to Kakura no Miya? And then where else will we take it? It's like, Doma, can you deliver this? Confused, I flipped the envelope over. Huh? This is from Okijiku. What? Okay, what? I'm trying to see like who it's from. Byakuya will probably tell me in simple text. Yesterday, could you be referring to Mio running from the military? Maybe he's gonna plead to Hiriko. I don't know if he's gonna hear your pleas, though. Perhaps it was my intuition. An inexplicable feeling of foreboding crept upon me, and I immediately opened the envelope. Oh. It's like the first time she's been curious enough to, like, invade the privacy of the envelope. Granted that the Kodawari are gonna read it as well, but... Ah! Oh, please forgive us. We shall repent for our sins. No! Wait, is this like a Hazushi couple? My body began to tremble and I almost collapsed on the spot. Maybe we should give this to Akaza? He might be able to track these people down. No! I need to find them! This is like a note. This is like definitely a suicide note. Yosoga! Oh, what is the matter? Are you alright? Please, I need your help. Please help me find Mio and Okijiku. Here, look at this. I gave Yosoga the letter, and after reading it, he quickly moved to action. Camellia, gather everyone here who isn't attending to guests. Right away. Yosoga took my shaking hands in his. I will will search with my staff. So you go on ahead. We need to find them as soon as possible. I will send a messenger to Akaza and the others. Thank you. I quickly ran to the plaza with the moon dial and shouted with all my might. Everyone, I need your help! My voice carried so loudly that everyone in the plaza turned their attention to me. You know, maybe like a little bit more discreet though. If all of Yomi is up in a hubbub to search for these two people, like the military is gonna know. If anyone here knows who Mio or Okijiku are, please find them. Even if you don't know them personally, please help. They're in danger. Mio, you said? Got it. Okijiku, isn't that the guy who ran from the military? Did something happen? I got a letter from Mio and Okijiku. The crowd around me began to murmur. It seemed they could guess what happened. Look for them, hurry! We need to find them alive. Please stay safe. Mio, Okijiku, where are you? It was possible that they had escaped to the surface, but the hastily written letter seemed to reflect their current state, which was very troubling. I don't think they left Yomi. I mean, it would be hard to. Don't tell me they wrote the letter and... I didn't want to think beyond that. I didn't want my intuition to be right. No, they shouldn't. Mio, Okijiku, where are you? Please, don't be rash. I yelled out as I ran through the streets. Please don't die. Don't die. Mio, Okijiku, don't die, please. My teary voice echoed through the air when... Oh. Oh no. Someone, anyone, there are dead bodies. That voice, Kaina? Someone, come quick. Kaina, what is it? There are two dead bodies along the canal. Kaina quickly held me back as I made a dash for the canal. Don't go. You shouldn't see something like that. This is no time for that. Let me go. Hey, we found them! Mio and Okijiku! They've poisoned themselves! You were too late. Finally, I fell to my knees. They're dead? Oh, but Mio, like, struggled, like, to the very end. They poisoned themselves? They really died. No. It can't be. No. My fist pounded the hard ground beneath me, with an anger that had nowhere else to go. Olympia, you knew them? I shook my head. I didn't know them personally, but I wanted them to live. Could it be they were like me? Kaina rubbed the mark on his cheek. It was a soldier from the blue and a woman from Yomi. This is gonna hit close to home for Kaina. Kaina cleared his throat and leaned against the wall beside him. I see. So they both were able to die together. Kaina? I glared at him. Don't you go thinking the same thing. But Kaina still had a smile on his face. We thought about doing the same thing too. The words made my fingers shake violently. A cold, bitter feeling came over me, and I felt as though I was going to vomit. It's not surprising they did that. After all, what use is living if there's no future? Kaina. People began to gather along the road. I still didn't have the strength to stand.
Olympia, have you heard of something called Tamasogi?
No?
It's the worst punishment on Tengu Island, where Batsu is used on the living.
And it's like the most painful thing imaginable. And if we take into account like the other uses of Batsu, sometimes it can take hours. It can be seconds, it can be 30 seconds, it can be hours.
I don't think anyone can imagine how painful that would be. I mean, no one would ever want to go through that. No one would ever want to see their love go through that, right? Well, I did.
Kinda.
Hey, someone call the Undertaker! If not, we'll all be contaminated!
Huh? Suddenly I heard a familiar, calm voice. I'm here. Himeka!
Thank God! I beg you! The corpse bearers are already here!
Himeka nodded, then turned on his heel. He didn't say a word to me. Wait! Where are you going? Aren't you gonna turn them into show? Those who take their own lives are mourned differently. Different? As I sat there in confusion, a number of burly-looking men walked past me. Without a word, they simply wrapped the two bodies in thick cloth and lifted them up in their arms. As if they were carrying some kind of luggage. What do you mean, mourned differently? Cremated and returned to the ocean. The ocean? The sound of the waves echoed in my mind. Waves from the dazzling blue ocean. Can I go with you? Himeka blinked slowly. I know I won't be of any help, but I'd like to at least offer them a prayer.
Olympia? Are you sure you can do that? You have an important role, don't you? Those who commit suicide are tainted.
I still want to go. Nothing would change my mind. Sensing my resolve, kinda slowly backed off. Understood, if that's what you wish. I must prepare for the ritual, so meet me at the wharf an hour from now. I gave a small nod, and Himeka left.
Olympia.
I'm sorry. Oh wait, that's kinda...
I'm sorry for what I said earlier. I can't leave this place, so... Would you pay the two of them my respects?
I will. I stood up, wiping away the tears from my eyes.
Idiots! You underestimate me because I'm a woman!
Even though she was being chased, she was so full of life back then. I wanted to believe that they would be able to make their escape. I was desperate to believe it. But yeah, I was like, they couldn't run. They couldn't run forever. They didn't make it after all. They ended their own lives themselves. You're here. Let's go. Ah! Before I knew it, Himeko was standing in front of me with his usual expression. An expression that showed no sorrow or anger. It's a long way to the beach. I'll hail a carriage. To like cremate them instead of like doing like the usual method, it seems like almost spiteful. It's like, oh, we're not even gonna use your show for anything. We're not gonna use your soul for anything. Just because you got away from us just so we couldn't execute you. What? We stopped one coming our way and spoke to the driver. To the beach up north.
Huh? The beach up north? That must mean you're the new Undertaker. Don't tell me Lady Olympia's going with you.
Me? What does he mean by that? He should mind his own business.
Yes, I'll be going with him.
Come on, you can't. I'll be a goner if people find out I took you there, Lady Olympia.
Huh? He looked really frightened and upset. Will this be enough? Money, here we go. I offered him all the money I had on me, but he quickly pushed my hand away.
This ain't about the money. That place is the most defiled, deadliest place on the island.
Isn't it the same beach where Himika lives? Could it really be that scary? If it's the beach I think it is. I mean, I think we've been there before, right? In like Yosuka's bad ending, we went to the north beach.
Please, I beg you.
Absolutely not. Please give up already. If you go there, you'll be defiled too and end up dead, Lady Olympia.
I mean, I mean, we did like go murder someone there, but there didn't see anything wrong with. There was nothing wrong with the beach. Like, if you came at the right time, apparently, you could see some pretty seashells. The shiny seashells.
I'm healthy, so I'll be fine.
You're not getting on. I'm gonna leave.
Please. Himika gently placed a hand on the coachman's seat. If anything happens, I will assume all blame. Is it that big of a deal? I felt sorry for the driver, but with what happened to Mio and Okijiku, I couldn't back down.
Please, I'll make sure that you're not blamed for any of this.
I bowed deeply to the coachman.
But please stop. Don't bow to me like that.
I know it's awkward when someone apologizes to you.
But fine, I give up. Just hurry and get out before anyone sees you.
Thank you.
Himika didn't say a word as the carriage started off. Of course, trying to strike a friendly conversation with him was close to impossible. But the silence was so heavy that I simply had to say something.
Himika, have you met Lord Hiroko before?
I was surprised by the question myself. To be honest, I doubted he would say yes. I was just trying to cling to some kind of hope. Why are you asking so suddenly?
Here.
After reading their final letter, Himika quickly turned his face away.
I'm sorry. I know it's not something that a person would want to read.
Where did you get that from?
It was in the letterbox.
I see. Himika picked up the letter and stared at it. I have met Hiroko before, so I will give him this letter. You have? Huh? Now you're just making me think that you're Hiroko. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take the letter.
You've met him before? So Lord Hiroko really does exist?
I quickly shut my mouth after I said it.
Can you pretend you didn't hear that?
He exists. He carefully folded the letter and put it inside his pocket. But he doesn't live in Kakira no Miya anymore.
He doesn't? Wait, does that mean the voice Dome hears there is a lie?
That's right. You're under his custody. Himiko looked out the window with a strange and nostalgic look in his eyes. It isn't a lie that the leaders of the Yellow could hear Hiroko's voice. It's just that he isn't there anymore. I was at a loss for words at the completely unexpected turn of events. Okay, he exists. I mean, I guess Doma can't really talk to him. Doesn't that kind of like... Doma's authority kind of relies on that, right? Like, as the Yellow, they're like the only ones that can hear Lord Hiroko's voice.
So Lord Hiroko doesn't reside there anymore. So then, where is he?
Well, I think he's wandering around the island somewhere. Okay, now I'm just like... I think Hiroko and Himiko are the same person. Wandering?
So where did you meet him, Himika?
I met him at Kakuro no Miya when I was assigned to the role of Undertaker. I never knew you had to do that. Himika nodded, gently rubbing the skull next to him. Unless the skull is Hiroko. Hypothetically. What would you want to say to Hiroko if you met him? Huh? He smiled quietly at me. I couldn't tell what that smile meant. I felt a chill in my stomach seeing him look at me with eyes devoid of hope. What would I want to say? I'd want to know if Lord Hiroko created the color class system. Yeah, why is he the flustered look? Well, who knows? My teacher never told me about it, and neither has Doma. I thought maybe it was just common knowledge. Do you hate the colors? I hate the division it causes, like the suffering it causes for people trying to maintain that division. I wasn't sure what to say. It wasn't that I was completely against them. Okay, right answer is I think about it a lot. I think about it a lot. I'm sure the system was made for some reason, so it can't be all bad, can it? But these two decided to choose this horrible fate because of the color class system. If so, maybe they could have found happiness otherwise, if it didn't exist. Or maybe they might not have after all. We're almost there. Himika? I was hoping to hear more from him. He's not gonna elaborate anymore. Okay. It's gonna be like... The thought in my mind is gonna be like, he is Hiroko. So, I don't know if like he just can't do anything about it, or what. I wanted to know what his thoughts were on them. But, I guess I'm just being selfish.
We're here. No need to pay the fare. Please just let me go.
You're not holding you hostage.
And please don't tell anyone I brought you here.
Thank you for your help, but please take this. I handed him a few bills as we disembarked. I know, he took us like all the way across the island. Okay, we are at this beach. Oh wow, like all the flowers like running right up to the shore. That's kind of unusual. Okay. Oh no, wait, that's not water. The sand is just really gray. Ugh. There was an awfully unusual smell in the air, and I couldn't help but cover my nose. It smelled like something burning, combined with the sweet incense and the smell of the ocean. The smells all blended together and seemed to completely enshroud me. This smell... There. Oh, cottage. Himiko pointed to what looked like some kind of altar made of stone. Although it was still daytime, the flames roared, sending billowing black smoke into the sky. Did he like burn bodies next to his house? That's depressing. The corpse bearers brought them here. Those who commit suicide do not become sho. We burned their remains and scattered the ashes over the sea. Hopefully they get reborn someplace nicer and they can be together there. What? Those are the rules. Speaking quietly, Himika began to pick the flowers blooming next to him. Himika? I'm gonna make a flower wreath. He picked red, blue, and yellow flowers, all vibrant and full of life. Seeing him weave them together so carefully and gently eased my sorrow a little. Is that for them? Yes. Do you mind if I help? A slight breath escaped his lips, though I couldn't tell if it was admiration or annoyance. You aren't afraid of being near death. No, I'm not afraid at all. Then, if you could weave a wreath for them. I nodded and began picking the yellow flowers. Next, I wove in the blue flowers and the red. All the primary colors. You're very good at making wreaths. Thank you. I used to make them a lot back when I lived on Tenyu Island. Ah, that's right. A slightly nostalgic look in his eyes made me feel a bit strange. Himika, by any chance, have you ever been to Tenyu Island before? Huh? I mean, seems kind of young, but maybe he might be, like, older than he appears. He might be, like, 1,000,000 years old. Who knows? But then again, men aren't allowed on the island for any excessive amount of time, according to the rules. He stared at me with a bewildered expression. I'm sorry, that was a strange thing to ask. I've never been there. I really, really wanted to, but the whirlpools didn't let me through. Did you try? Whirlpools? That's right. I haven't gone back for a long time myself. I gazed out onto the ocean. I can't see the island from here. This is on the opposite coast. I think we're about ready. Let's get going. Oh, okay. Himika must be accustomed to rowing boats. He set the boat out onto the waves with ease. As he rowed, I looked at the blue skies and the blue sea with the flower wreath on my lap. I think this should do. Himika stopped rowing, then took something out from his pocket. It was their ashes wrapped in paper. Oh, I got a CG. The ashes were white. Nothing about it looked filthy to me. Himika sprinkled the ashes into the sea. They gently melted away in the water. Mio. That was it. She was running around Yomi just a few days ago. That's sad, and now she's just ashes. The end was so simple that I felt like those two could still be alive somewhere in Yomi. Oh. Himika then took out a blue cloth. Oh, Himika, what's that handkerchief for? It's her handkerchief. Aw, wait, is it from Okijiku? I snuck into her house to retrieve it. Like the little memento that, like, he gave to her. But I wasn't able to sneak into the military dormitories. The wind blew. Himika let go of the handkerchief, sending it into the air. I'm sure they realized they were soulmates. They could no longer return to heaven, but their souls can sleep peacefully in this great ocean. This time, they can be together forever. I see. The handkerchief fluttered away on the wind. Suddenly, tears began to flow from my eyes. Oh, she really is crying. It's like just on the side there. Like, oh. Once, a man and a woman with their wrists tied together drifted ashore. Oh god. I'm just remembering Tokisada's bad ending where we just like drifted off to sea. I suppose they didn't want to part. Himika gazed out at the horizon. Was he looking at the handkerchief or what lay beyond the ocean? They weren't from this island, but I cremated their ashes just the same. They were outsiders. but they didn't survive. So many things wash up onto the island. The old and the new, the hideous and the beautiful, the living and the dead. All I can do is send them off this way. I can only pray that they'll finally find happiness together at last. My heart ached as I looked at his calm composure and heard his bold voice.
I didn't make it in time. I wanted to save her. I never expected her to die. I couldn't do anything.
That's not true. You wove that wreath for them. Himika smiled. His smile softly embraced my heart, and more tears welled up in my eyes. You prayed for them both, and now you're shedding tears for them. I'm usually alone here, so they must be glad to have your company. Don't worry. They'll be at peace now, thanks to you. Now, if you'll please deliver the wreath. I set the flower wreath onto the surface of the water. My tears continued down my cheeks endlessly. This was a normal day for him. A day where he held his skull and was shunned as the Undertaker. Are you always alone out here? No one wants to be near the stain of death. Yes, no one wants to go near the unclean. That's what he meant when we said, like, he defile her. Because he's, like, being near death, and in some cultures means, like, yeah, that means you get defiled by it, just being near it. Same with blood, too. Like, some people are like, oh, women are unclean because of the blood from their period. Everyone despises filth and the hideous and the things that frighten us. Everyone, including gods. Himika? It can't be helped. Everyone hates those who are different from them. Being hideous means they are different from everyone else. You wouldn't enjoy going near something that is hideous, would you? I couldn't immediately answer. Like he said, people shunned hideous things. Yes, like me.
Look how white she is. She's so creepy.
I guess it's true that people are frightened by things that are hideous. I actually tried to run away from Doma's Manor when I was 10 years old. I thought I could go back to Tenyo Island if I managed to escape to the beach. The people of the island saw me, a girl with a white, and were frightened by me.
Huh? He's gonna be like, no, wait, you're not hideous.
I bet there was some who had never seen a person of the white before.
You know, like, even though, like, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? Like, Himika is gonna think Byakuya is beautiful, but, like, the people who saw her at that time would think she is hideous because, like, they're not used to seeing like someone of the white, and, like, it scares them.
I'll never forget the looks of fear in their eyes. So I guess I was hideous and fearsome to them too back then.
But you're not.
But I'm proud to be the lone survivor. I won't run away from anyone anymore, even if they're afraid of me.
Himika held his breath and stared at me.
Every time I go down to Yomi, a thought comes to mind. Really? She won't yell at me if I talk to her?
Lord Kuroba said it earlier, but failures like me are not allowed to live on the surface.
Some people on the surface say that the colors of Yomi are hideous or unsightly. But I don't think they're hideous at all. Maybe it's because I was born and raised on Tenyo Island. If someone thinks something is hideous, that's only their opinion. But I've never thought anyone was hideous just because they were different. Himika's eyes opened wide and he moved back a little. I guess I got carried away just now. Did I even answer your question?
Yes. You really are beautiful. Huh? Oh, now we're flirting. Himika's sincere eyes pierced through me and I felt my neck heating up. It was an unfamiliar feeling, but not unpleasant, and my heart raced in my chest. Oh, alright, we're catching the feelings now. Now we're becoming aware of him. I looked out to the sea and saw that the crown of flowers had already disappeared into the waves. Himika, do you think the flower wreath made it to them? It did. I'm sure he's admiring the sight of it on her head. Oh, just like thinking a cute little image. I was sure if anyone else said that, they'd be laughed at. But hearing it from him brought forth a vivid image of the two of them in my mind. The way that they're happy in the next life. Suddenly I remembered. I don't like the ocean. Okay, I mean, he can go out on the ocean, but yeah. He probably doesn't like the ocean because he has to, like, do many terrible rites on it. Himika, you said you don't like the ocean. Is it because of what you do out here? He then stared at the shoreline. That too, but long ago I wandered this ocean on a boat for a very long time. Oh? Are you an outsider? Which is why being out in the ocean reminds me of how lonely I was. A long time? Was he shipwrecked or something? He must be an outsider, right? But now, I'm not lonely anymore because I have you beside me. I began to blush. It wasn't the first time Himika smiled at me, but this time I felt a nervous fluttering in my chest. I like the ocean when you're around. Really? What is going on with me? We should head back to shore soon. Oh, right. Himika reached out for the oars when... Oh, ah! Suddenly a large wave struck and rocked the boat. The force lifted me up out of my seat and uh-oh. Watch out. Oh, CG, another one. Oh my. Okay. Watch out, don't fall, and then pins me to the ground. Like, dude, he looks like a woman. Look at the skirt. Like, okay, this is our imaginary Yuri love interest. And like, she's like red as a beet right now. No one's out here on this ocean. We're alonesies. Are you alright? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? I'm fine. Lightly. His gray hair caressed my cheek. His slender body cradled me tightly. I was like, your lantern is digging into my hip. Right there. Jeez. What should I do? I can't get myself out. Himika looked at me with concern. It seemed I was the only one embarrassed. Himika, I'm fine. Really. Huh? The strength in his arms relaxed. I breathed a sigh of relief. Soft. Warm. Maybe he's seeing us as a woman now and not some sort of god? Oh, okay. He's making moves. His cold fingers gently touched my cheek and I held my breath. Your hair has such a nice scent. Your lips are like cherries. So sweet. Are you gonna kiss him? What is happening? Himika's fingers slowly slid from my cheek and down my neck. Okay, why are we getting all sensual here? Where did this come from? A sensation I had never felt before ran through me suddenly. I was so embarrassed that I wanted to escape, but I couldn't bring myself to move away. Your skin is really hot. Oh, well, thank you. She is blushing quite furiously. Ah. As his fingers traced my skin affectionately, a short, quiet breath escaped me. I never knew until now. You're so soft. Your cheeks are so very hot, aren't they? Yeah, we're like getting a fever here. The moment his gentle, curious fingers touched my earlobe, I felt a terribly sweet tingle deep inside my body. Okay, she likes the caresses of the earlobes. Himika, I quickly wriggled free from his arms. Huh? Ah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you got wandered there for a sec. Where'd your mind go? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. Oh no, he realized what he did. Himika, calm down. I'm sorry. You really do hate me now, right? I'm so hideous. Himika shrank back as if frightened and bowed his head to me again and again. What's gonna happen? Oh god, we gotta coax him out. He's gonna be so frightened to even, like, touch us. It's alright? I was just surprised. I mean, yeah, it's like only chapter 4. Really? You don't hate me? I don't hate you at all. Oh no, I made him cry. Himika's eyes finally welled up with tears as he realized the extent of his regret. I'm sorry. I'll get us back to shore. Alright. The boat began to move again. Himika didn't say one word as we headed back to the sandy beach. He didn't even look at me. Back on shore. Well, I need to get going. Oh, I hope he doesn't, like, avoid us after this. This is where the chasing probably begins. We'll be like, hey, you get back here. Bye. Yes, well, I guess he needs to sort out his thoughts first. Himika jumped off the boat, and before I could say anything, he quickly ran away. What in the world? Well, it really was surprising and all, but... I touched my cheek as I stood alone on the beach. What am I doing? The fingers touching my cheek now were obviously not his. But I was reminded of the bittersweet sensation that made me momentarily forget myself. Alright, back down to Yomi. all the events, all the traumatic events, and then the romantic events. There you go, check the letterbox. Nothing. I returned to Yomi to check the letterbox. I gave that letter before to Himika. It should be fine. There isn't anything illegal about it now. I'll just tell Akaza about it later. Forget about my coffee. I always do that. Like, I pour myself a cup of coffee and then start recording and then forget it's there. Oh, welcome back. The main hall of Shitkin-jo was the same as usual. I could hear laughter and a lively merriment around me. It's like life goes on, I guess. It has been a busy day.
Why not take a rest for now? Kuroba is here too. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard. Well, good work.
I went to the beach to the north.
Did you really? Not many do. I've only been a few times myself. Okay, well, he's not scared of it.
I think they were given a proper send-off.
Red flowers, blue flowers, yellow flowers. I hope the waves did carry the wreath to them. It wasn't your fault. I can tell you to just forget about it, but don't let it bog you down.
It's fine. I'm alright now.
I knew I would still have this lingering feeling of heaviness for a while. But crying wasn't gonna do me any good.
That's right. I know this is an odd time to bring it up, but do either of you know who Nagusa of the Jade is?
Oh god, no. Him and Kuroba did not have a good... I guess right now they're not in contention now.
I received an invitation yesterday from him.
You should refuse. It will be to discuss marriage. Yosuga knows what's up.
Does he have a bad personality or something?
He pretends to be good, but he's a narcissist.
No. In fact, he has a reputation for being a wonderful person. Tall and with a handsome face. Though he is 23 years old, he has not entered into marriage because his diligence in studying to become the next leader.
Yeah, but his personality. Like, I feel like any good he does is just for the sake of making himself look good. It's not for the sake of others.
Sounds like a good match to me.
Don't do Don't do it! Don't do it! You know, a guy like that's gotta be two-faced. He's a really popular guy, you know. He's probably already had a few lovers in secret.
Are you talking about yourself?
I have to agree with Kuroba. His perfection is suspicious. I would not trust him. Yeah, it's like, that just comes from carefully curating your image.
I never thought of it that way before.
And stamping down anything he doesn't like. If you're gonna marry Nagusa, might as well just make it official with me. It'd be simpler.
No, it wouldn't.
That was a very sticky situation.
No, thank you.
Then how about Akaza? The Jade will have no choice but to back down from the red.
Back down? Is that because the red color class is on a higher tier?
Of course.
Then no thanks to that too.
Being stubborn. This is no time to be picky. The year will pass by in a flash.
I know that, but...
It's fine, just choose Akaza. I know I'm his friend and all, but he really is an impeccable guy. We're not on his route yet.
I do trust and respect him as a person, but... No thank you.
If you continue on without direction, you may wander into a trap. You should try to search with more purpose.
I understand.
I knew they cared about me in their own way. My #1 priority should be finding a husband. How about Himika? You two seem close.
Huh?
The images of what we did on the boat.
I realized my reaction too late. I was like, oh, they're like, we hit the nail on the head. She's already chose Himika in her mind. Now we just gotta make her admit it. Kuroba and Yosuga were looking at me with great interest. They're like a bunch of, like, ooh, spill the tea, girl. Hear that, Kuroba? It seems things have been progressing in a clandestine fashion. This is finally getting interesting. Yeah, it's great. We want you to end up with a guy you actually like.
What?
Alright, correct answer is please don't tell Himika. in case they get a chance to even, like, approach him. Please don't tell Himika. We'd be embarrassed. The two looked at each other and nodded with satisfaction. Ah, the purity of a maiden.
Seems we were worried for nothing.
I'm leaving. I quickly grabbed my cap and made a run for it, trying to hide the rising heat in my cheeks. Huh? You're leaving already? Camellia had just finished sweeping the entryway when I stepped through it. Oh, I suddenly remembered something I needed to do. I heard about this morning. I went with Lord Yosaga and Dr. Kuraba to lay flowers there. I see. Thank you. Humans can't be repaired, can they? Once they break, they just die. Right. Please be careful not to break, too. Don't worry. Kuraba says I'm in excellent health. A ditty? That's a relief. Well then, good luck with your deliveries tomorrow. Oh, who is that? I walked to the place where they found this morning and saw it was full of flowers. In front of them was an old lady wearing a black kimono. Is it... I forgot her name. Katsu... Grandma Sticks? Of all stupid things, a double suicide. Yeah, it's Katsuyama. There were options if you decided to live. You're the Tenyo Island girl. Good day. You're looking for a husband, aren't you? Don't just stand there and go find yourself a man already. I said, that's not the time to really say that, lady. Yes. She was shamelessly rude. But she was clearly paying her respects to Mio. If you'll excuse me. I bowed my head, then quickly took my leave. Alright, back to the manor. Oh wait, we have our little ceremony to do tonight, right? A lot has happened. Back to the ocean.
It appears the sun is completely set.
Yes, I was wondering earlier if it would.
There seems to be even more people here than before. I suppose more people wish to catch a glimpse of you driving away the darkness.
There were so many people gathering at the harbor that they barely seemed to fit. I needed to continue meeting their expectations.
We're here. Please do your best.
Thank you. Don't worry. It is my duty to worship and protect the sun so the world doesn't fall into darkness. The thought of Mio and Okijiku returned to mind. I'll dedicate my dance to them tonight. They did nothing wrong. No matter what anyone else says, they did nothing wrong at all. All I could do now is try and deliver the brilliant sunlight to Yomi, or the end of their lives. A light so strong and bright that it would reach the bottom of the ocean. I'm sure Lady Amaterasu would forgive me. I vowed to make that happen as I gazed out at Tenyo Island floating on the ocean. Alright, we don't get to see her dance this time. A promise to protect. Alright, well, the romance is taken off. Let's see if we can pin down Himika again, though. I have a feeling we're gonna have to chase him down. We're gonna chase him down from this point. Alright, another day on the island. We'll have to see how this day progresses in the next episode. Alright, I hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.